Oh, sorry, got distracted. I thought I forgot something. Now, which one is which? Why does it feel like there's a spider on my forehead? Oh, it's just a hair, thank goodness. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today's video is our October faves and fails, because there are some fails this month, which is always nice. Makes a little bit of change, you know. And if you are patient enough, if you are curious enough, there is going to be a giveaway at the very end of this video, and it's for something Lisa Eldridge. So if I were you, I'd keep watching and find out how to enter. So on the topic of Lisa Eldridge, let's start off with her foundation. Now, I am filming my monthly favourites a little early again this month because I'm taking a bit of break over the school holidays here in the UK. So I am pre-filming this ahead of time. So it may be that this foundation is now released and I could be holding up a proper bottle rather than these blister packs. But at the moment when I'm filming this, there's no confirmed date as yet. So blister packs it is. So I did review this foundation for you guys, gave you a sort of try on and my initial thoughts. Obviously I have now worn the foundation a couple more times. I've used up my other blister pack just trying the foundation out. This is the lighter one, which I haven't touched because this is shades 13 to 16 and they're all just too light for me. So today I am wearing shade 19 and this is a really nice good match for me at the moment. It's pretty much the shade of my bod. I'm kind of in between winter and summer shades at the moment. 19 is definitely a shade that I can wear right now. It's neutral undertone wise, so yeah, it's a good match. But this foundation I think is glorious. I mean, who thought it wasn't going to be? The shade range is incredible. I talked in my review about how inclusive I find the shade range, the undertones, and the whole campaign itself. As far as representation across the board, I thought it was phenomenal, and the foundation itself was no letdown either. I am excited to see the proper packaging, but so far with this foundation I have no complaints. I find it super flattering on texture, on fine lines. It's very, very blurring and smoothing on the skin. It's very forgiving. It wears absolutely beautifully for a solid 8 hours on me. I never really wear my makeup much longer than that. I'm not someone who needs a 10-12 hour foundation. So I can't confirm if it's like mega long wearing across, you know, a 12-hour day, especially not if you have a different skin type to me. But on my pretty normal skin type, it wears beautifully for 8 hours and that's kind of all I need it to do. It doesn't need setting, it doesn't move around, it doesn't transfer all over the place. It's very lightweight to wear. A little goes a long way and I find it very, very beautiful of a finish. I also really appreciate there's no SPF in there because this for me would absolutely be an evening foundation that I know I can rely on. It's not going to bounce back or white cast in flash photography. So for me, this is one that I would certainly wear dinners, dates, drinks with the girls, that kind of thing, because it's that type of foundation for me. For my kind of go-to daytime foundations, it's not as glowy and sort of luminous as I like my foundations to be. Like my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate is much glowier, the Clé de Peau Natural Radiant is much glowier, the Estee Lauder much glowier. So yeah, it's not quite as glowy as I would have loved it personally to be, but for this satin finish that I kind of lean more towards for evening foundations, event foundations, it's top notch. So moving on to the lip products. I mean, what more is there to say really about these lip products than I already said in my review, and we already know about these lip products. The glosses are absolutely stunning, and these are probably two of my favourite shades of gloss. And I think my ultimate favourite perhaps is Dragon, which is, it's just right up my street. It's that gorgeous glossy pink orange. It's just stunning on its own and over the top of any lipstick that's kind of in that range. It's gorgeous. We already know the formula is amazing, very hydrating, healthy, glossy, not glittery, right up my street. Cinnabar, as I said in my review, I find very, very unique. This is the lipstick that I have on today, and this is the gloss of Cinnabar. But yeah, the gloss is absolutely gorgeous. I think Affair is probably still my absolute favourite, but I'd say Dragon is like a close second. And as for the lipsticks, I mean, again, you guys saw me try all of these on in my review. They're absolutely stunning. I think, as I said, the standout Cinnabar, it's just that more bit more unique than the other shades. Sure, we all have shades like Fawn, and we all have shades, I'm sure, a bit like maybe Blush Lightly and Intrigue, you know, they are nudes. The formula of Lisa's matte lipsticks are like peak matte lipstick for me. They are the best of the best. The other shades are shades that we can find in other formulas. Sure, the formula might not be as nice, but we probably own similar shades, whereas Cinnabar, I feel like it's very different to anything I have. But that whole collection was just such a win for me. It's just always joyful to like get new Lisa Eldridge products and try them, because they're just always amazing. So next up, let's talk about a couple of hair products that I hauled recently. First up, the Ouai Volumising Hairspray. This stuff is just as good as people say it is. For some reason, I find it hard to find links for this one. I'll try my best to link it down below, but especially in the US, it seems especially hard to find. I sincerely hope it hasn't been discontinued, because I've only just found it and it's changed my life. I haven't got any product in my hair today. I haven't styled my hair today because I'm literally, after this, I'm going to have my hair done. So I don't want to put any product in it and create any kind of issues. So I haven't used this today, but the scent of this is like nothing you've ever smelled. The most stunning fragrance ever, and you just smell of it all day, which is gorgeous. I love my hair to smell nice just as much as I like my bod to smell nice, so that's a bonus. But this is so good at adding volume into your hair. So I use this whenever I style my hair with my Dyson Airwrap. I'll use this afterwards, and I just go in and spray like through the roots and give it a bit of a rub. I use it in the same way as those like volumizing powders, like spray through the roots, give it a bit of a rub, and it literally quadruples the size of my hair. It's amazing, and it smells incredible on top. And it also really helps my curls and everything in the body from my blowout with the Dyson last twice as long. I really love it. I would buy it again and again, as long as, fingers crossed, it isn't discontinued, in which case I'll cry. So don't do that to me, okay? Please. Another hair product I picked up this month and I talked about in my haul video is the Living Proof Perfect Day. The Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. I'm too tired for this. So this is a dry shampoo. It's their newest, like, reformulated, improved formula. It's so good. It's so good. So a lot of you are asking me what's the difference between this one and their original. The main difference that I notice is it really makes your hair like soft as silk. It feels soft and silky, and it feels clean, as well as looking clean. It feels healthy and soft and conditioned as well. I feel like the effect as well lasts super long with this dry shampoo, more than any other. I feel like usually dry shampoo, like, you have to use it the first day when you're feeling like you need a bit of dry shampoo, and then the next day you do it again. Whereas this one, I feel like you use it and the effect actually lasts a couple of days, and you don't have to use it constantly every day or even multiple times a day. It lasts, and it actually makes your hair feel healthier and better for it, and look clean, as opposed to just kind of getting rid of the greasy roots, if you know what I mean. And next up, a moisturiser that I have been living for this month. I don't typically talk about a lot of skincare in these videos, just because I'm very basic with skincare, kind of use the same products. I kind of change things like moisturisers in and out, and I never really wowed enough by skincare to bother telling you guys about it. It all just kind of does what it says on the tin generally, but this product I had to tell you about because I'm in love with it. And this is the Farmacy Honey Halo Moisturiser. Now, number one, this packaging is delightful, absolutely delightful. It comes with a little metal spatula that is magnetic to the top. Do I have to use this to get the moisturiser out every time I use this moisturiser? No. But do I? And do I feel like super bougie and get ideas above my station? Yes, I do. I live for it. I love it. I love getting my little spatula out and whacking my moisturiser on of an evening. It's my favourite thing to do. Spatula aside, because actually the product inside is nice too, it smells like a dream. Oh, I mean, it does have a honey scent, but it's not super overwhelmingly fake honey. It's just a little hint of honey and a rich, creamy, moisturizing scent. It smells like the most luxurious spa. And the feel of this moisturizer on the skin, it feels like you had a whole facial. It just literally bursts with moisture. It's so rich and soothing and hydrating. It's honestly a joy and I'm obsessed with it. So there you go. But the spatula doesn't hurt, I tell you that. So next up, I picked up a new blush from Dior this month. This is, what is it called? This is, I think it's called Millefiori, maybe it's pronounced something along those lines. Let's get rid of that brush before it falls out. This is one of their limited edition holiday blushes. It's the one with this gorgeous embossing, and it is a new shade rather than like Hologlam just being repackaged. This actually is a different shade. So yeah, I do like this, don't get me wrong, but it's very light for me. I'm going to pick this back up in winter once my skin tone has kind of really got as light as it gets, because I think I might like it more once that happens. At the moment, it's almost lighter than my skin tone, so it kind of looks a bit like chalky and it just doesn't quite look, I can't quite pull it off right now. Someone asked me, or a few of you asked me, to compare it to Nude Glide, which is the one from the Birds of a Feather collection. So I'll swatch them together so you can see. So Nude Glide, and this is the Millefiori. So Nude Glide, as you can see, it's just that little bit deeper. It's more peachy, and Millefiori is definitely more pinker. So definitely the Nude Glide is my favourite. I much prefer this. It's more my type of shade and it just works better for me. Nude Glide is still a little on the light side, but I can wear it and it's just a nice subtle hint of something. Whereas this one, just being that hair bit lighter, it can look a little chalky, but I really like the shade and I love the finish. It's got that very similar finish to the Nude Glide blush, that really glowy, gorgeous luminous finish, which I love. So I think I will love this much more in like starkest winter. But if you have a fair to light medium skin tone, it's very beautiful. The finish is gorgeous and I have no regrets. Next, let's talk about the couple of Pat McGrath products that I picked up in my second haul from her holiday collection. These took weeks to arrive, but they finally did. So this is the Bronze Borealis palette that I picked up, the little quad from her holiday collection. This is definitely for me more of a like than it is a love. I don't have any issues with it. The formula is lovely. It's very nice. What I tend to do is use this shade like all over the lid up into the crease, then deepen up with the matte, and then I use the two sort of bronzier shimmers on the lid, and it gives me a nice look that I enjoy. But I will say it's not exciting. It doesn't wow me. Like, I much prefer the Venus in Fleurs quad, and I much prefer the Risque Rosé quad. I think those two are just like, when I use them, I'm like, oh, I'm in love, and they give me joy, and I just love it. Whereas this one, I'm just like, I'm happy with it. It's fine, but it's not exciting. It doesn't get the blood rushing, doesn't get me wanting to, you know, dance over rainbows or anything like that. I mean, I don't know why it would, but you see what I'm saying. It's nice and I like it and I enjoy it, but it isn't wowing me. I think you could easily pass on this. It's a bit mucky. Let me just give that a little wipe on the old thigh. Yeah, so I think you could easily skip this, and I don't think you're necessarily missing anything that incredible. I much prefer, I think the like Celestial, is it the Celestial Odyssey? The larger palette is the one from that collection. I think it's much more exciting. It's the one I've got in my eyes today, and I'm still really excited and love using and playing with that one. I think it's just much more wow factor than the quad. And it's not to say because it's bigger, because quads can be exciting. The Risque Rosé is as exciting as it gets up in here. But yeah, there's no special shades in here. They are just, you know, pretty average shimmers and no exciting colours either. So, I mean, not that that wasn't what I was expecting. I knew what I was signing up for. But yeah, it's just like, it's fine. It's nice. I like it. You know? Now the highlighter, again, just doing a little covert buff on the butt down here. No one will notice. This highlighter, let's just take a moment. Let's take a moment for this. The packaging of this, best ever from Pat. Like, this is how her blushes should be packaged. I feel like her blushes make her motherships like this, although that's a lot of polishing, but I'd be happy to do some extra polishing for all of her packaging to look this stunning. I'm living, this is it for me. And the product inside, I mean, it's glorious. If ever anything was glorious, this is glorious. I just live for it. Now, the product itself, I have this highlighter on today. Now, it's definitely a little different to what I was expecting. I feel like Pat's previous highlighters have all been a bit more a luminous glow, lit from within, more subtle, particularly her Divine Rose that you guys know I'm a huge fan of, my Holy Grail highlight, absolutely live for it. So I was expecting, based on the description, this one to be along those same lines. This is definitely more shimmery and more frosty highlight. It's a bit lighter, it's more shimmery, it's more texture enhancing than those. Here it is, just here. It definitely has a sort of champagne, slightly pink tint to it, does it? Maybe slightly in certain lights, but you can see there where it hits the light, it's got almost that silvery, really, really bright colour to it. So I don't think I love this one as much as I love Divine Rose, but I definitely can use this, buff it into the skin and get a gorgeous glow to the skin that I really like, and I will certainly use it. My hair is just so frizzy today. It's the humidity. But it's definitely one that I will reach for. I think it looks super pretty and gorgeous, and I will use it with my Sonia G Fan Pro, and I'll just take some time, use a small amount and buff it in, and then it will give me the gorgeous glow, slightly more luminous than I typically go for, but I still really appreciate it and think it's gorgeous. It is a bit light and it can leave a bit of a cast as I move my head, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the beauty, and I also appreciate that, you know, when she's releasing different highlights all the time, they're not all going to work on my skin tone. They're not all going to be like for me, for my preference. So I do appreciate that actually this one is a bit different formula wise and shade wise to some of her previous releases. Next up, a lippy that I got free of charge, my favorite price, as you guys always know. This is the Guerlain Kisskiss lipstick that I got as a freebie recently with one of my purchases from Guerlain that we'll talk about in a moment. This is the Kisskiss, I don't remember what formula this is because I think there's several, but it's one with the black packaging, like the cubism packaging, if you will. This is shade 344. I'm going to be very careful because it's a mini and I do not want to snap it. But this has made me order some more of these lipsticks. I was very nonplussed about this. This is not a formula that I was necessarily excited to try. I don't think I've tried a lot from Guerlain. I think that's why I haven't ever really loved their foundations. Their shade ranges are awful. And yeah, I hated their bronzer, their holiday bronzer that I picked up once, was one of the worst purchases of my entire life. The memory is a dark one. So I haven't really been super excited about purchasing from the brand since then. So this was just a freebie that I got, and it's gorgeous. It's so shiny and glossy and healthy, and I love the colour. I like the sort of medium opacity, and it smells delightful. It has that like Parma violet scent that I live for. I think I'm the only person on earth who actually likes the taste of Parma violets. Me and my daughter, we're the only two people there are, but I love the smell as well, and it's just gorgeous. And I've actually ordered a couple of shades now, which I'll show you at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, this is a lovely formula that I underestimated wrongly, so I apologise. It's all I can do at this point. So now for the product that I picked up that got me that freebie. It's this fragrance from Guerlain, this Spiriteuse Double Vanille. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Wow, wee. Oh my. Eat me alive. It is delightful, this scent. If you like the same type of fragrances as I do, if you like Kilian Angel's Share, this is so good. It's definitely not a performance bomb like Angel's Share. It definitely doesn't have the like projection 10 feet away from you, everyone in the room can smell you, which I like actually, because sometimes I want that. Like sometimes I want people on the bus driving past to like stop and be like, whose perfume is that? And it's just me in my house. Sometimes I want that. Sometimes I'm going to an office environment, or I just want to like have a little secret for myself. I want to be able to smell it on me, my husband to smell it on me, but I don't necessarily want, you know, the entire school playground to wonder what fragrance she's wearing today. And this is the one. It's a little closer, more intimate, doesn't like, not a poor performance. Longevity is there. I can smell it all day, little wafts of it. And, you know, when anyone hugs you or comes close to you, they'll smell it as well. But it's not like invading everyone else's noses for a 45-mile radius. Is what I'm saying. I'm obsessed with the fact that I got to personalize this bottle. You get to choose all the colors, all the details, and I had mine engraved with my name on the back, which I lived and breathed and died for. But the scent itself, it's boozy, sexy, grown-up, warm, tobacco-y spice delight is what it is. And I'm living for it. It's like you can see I've had this like a few weeks and I've already, you know, there's a dent in the bottle, let's put it that way, and I have no regrets. And now for the fails. I don't do fails that often because I feel like for me to call something a fail, it has to really be a fail. It has to be like there's no redeeming quality about it. Oh, I mean, I don't like saying, even that's making me feel uncomfortable. I'm getting my tummy feels worried. You know, but also I can't lie to you, and I have to do what I have to do here. This is the whole point of the channel. And when I really don't like something, I'm going to tell you guys about it. I have to. I want to save your money, okay? So first up, it's the Huda Glowish powder, this luminous pressed powder, which from the name of it, you'd think I would like. I don't really know what it is. That's number one. I don't know if it's supposed to be a setting powder or a powder foundation. Like, it's definitely described and has the coverage of a powder foundation, but it's just called the Luminous Press Powder. So that makes me think, you know, is it actually a setting powder or a finishing powder? But I guess you can use it however you like. The issue is that I would suggest just not using it in any of those ways. So here it is there, and I'm sure you can see it's just very, very, very luminous. It's very luminous, okay? Now, you know me, I don't think I've ever in my life said anything is too luminous or too glowy. Like, I never thought those words would come out of my mouth. But for a powder that is supposed to go over your entire face, this is the thing that is too glowy. It's finally happened. There's something that's too glowy. And I think, honestly, actually, it's probably not that it's too glowy, because I love to glow, and you could obviously just avoid the sort of centre of your face and use it around the perimeters. I was going to say parameters. The perimeters of your face. I don't know what you do with the centre then, but there's options there is what I'm saying to you. The issue is actually that this will highlight every single hair, every pimple, every bit of texture, every line, pore, everything you ate for breakfast, every single one of your secrets, yep, including that one. It's just shining a massive torch on everything that generally you'd rather you turn the lights out on, is what I'm saying. It's horrifying, okay? That's all I can say. It's just a nightmare as far as maybe this is for babies. Maybe it's for babies. If you've got perfect, gorgeous, smooth as silk if you've got stunning, perfect angel skin with not a single line, pore, bit of texture, pimple, spot, freckle, like hair on your face, you're hairless, okay? If you're a Sphinx cat, then maybe it will be nice. That's the only hope that I have. But if you do have those things, it's just going to make them look 25 times more and worse, and just literally beam a torch on all of it, all at the same time on your entire face. So that wasn't something I was a big fan of. So yeah, I'm sorry about it. I would say maybe you could use it strategically as a highlight, but I just, because it adds a lot of coverage, it's just, I don't think it works. I'm trying to be nice, but I'm sorry, maybe I just can't be. Maybe that's too much to ask. And unfortunately, the other product that I didn't enjoy this month But maybe it's not quite a fail, I just didn't enjoy it. Let's try and be a little bit nicer to these. And it's these little blushes also from Huda Beauty Glowish, and I really feel bad because, you know, I would have liked to have loved these, but oh, I just find them really dry and tiny. They're so small, and the peach one is much too light and looks very dusty and chalky on me. This one is also quite light. This is the coral. This still needs like building up on me. I find they look very powdery, so I do have to build them up. The feel of them is very rough, and just they feel hard in the pan when you swatch them. In my unboxing video, my haul video, that was the first thing I was surprised that it feels really rough, and I thought it would feel smooth and creamy, and unfortunately that continued. When I use it on the cheeks, I just don't really get much colour payoff, and it looks heavy and powdery. Like you can see I've put a load of powder on my cheeks. It doesn't melt into the skin how I want, and I don't really find them to be luminous either. These are literally, I'm sure these are called like luminous blushes, or that's how they're described, but they just look completely flat matte to me on my skin, and I don't know why or what's happened, but they definitely, for me, just in no way were what I was expecting or looking for. Whew, I feel like I'm sweating now. But let's end on a positive note, okay? Let's end on a positive with a cheeky, very little giveaway. It's just this. That's all it is. Let me explain. So when I ordered my Lisa Eldridge products, I had a little whoopsie, okay? It happens to the best of us, so I'm here just to let you know it happens to me too, more often than not, in fact. So that whole launch, most Lisa Eldridge launches are a little intense and stressful because things sell out like that. You've got to be on the ball, you've got to be ready, you've got to be poised, you've got to have your shopping list, you've got to get in, you've got to get out. That's how it goes. So this one was even more stressful than usual because the site was down for like 15 minutes. So Lisa was, you know, launch time is 4 o'clock, everybody, be ready. And we were all ready, but Lisa wasn't. She was like, just kidding. It's going to be like 15 minutes. But so the website had some kind of issue and didn't go live for 15 minutes, but nobody knew when it was going to go live. So literally a million of us were just sitting there on our phones, like refresh for 15 minutes, not daring to take our eyeballs off the screen or to stop refreshing because it could have happened at any second. And to be honest, if that had been 2 hours, we probably would have done it for 2 hours. Imagine that. Whew, it was exhausting. So by the time I actually refreshed and I got onto the website, it was panic stations. We'd all got a little bit more stressed than we already were. And I ended up accidentally buying Velvet Affair, which I already own and is one of my all-time favourite lipsticks from Lisa. And not just from Lisa, one of my all-time favourite lipsticks, bar none, full stop. That's all she wrote. So I ordered accidentally one of these when I meant to order Velvet Fawn, which I see still confused now, weeks later. So I then had to place another order for Velvet Fawn, and Lisa's customer service were excellent. They managed to combine my orders so I didn't have to pay for shipping and things like that. But I couldn't cancel this one because, you know, how quick they work there, things are already packed. And they did say I could send it back, but I was like, no, I'm not going to send it back. I'm going to give it to one of my wonderful subscribers. So if you would like Velvet Affair from Lisa Eldridge, all you have to do is be following me on Instagram and comment down below the words Velvet Affair and your Instagram handle. You must please make your Instagram public because otherwise it causes me a nightmare trying to contact you and it gets even more stressful than it needs to be. So if you would like to get your mitts on this gorgeous lipstick from Lisa Eldridge, follow me on Instagram, comment down below Velvet Affair and your Instagram handle and consider yourself entered. And I'm going to give you a week to do that. I mean, what more could you want? And yes, open internationally as always, okay? Open internationally, don't say I don't treat you nice. So there you have it. Those are all of my faves and sadly some fails from the month of October. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.